Welcome to Kuala Lumpur. Today I'm meeting the digital nomads that decided to call this place home. Let's see what life here really looks like.
I'm John. I'm from the UK. I've called Malaysia home for about the last 10 years now. We've been in KL for two and a bit years now. We've been around Singapore, Vietnam, Indonesia before. KL has always been a very special place for us. My wife is from KL, but we felt like this was coming home after traveling all over Southeast Asia, over Europe. It's a very easy place to live. It is a big city. There's a lot of chaos in any big city. The quality of life that you can lead is fantastic. There's really good healthcare. We're now at the family stage. There's really good schools, all different price points.
How does it work for the health insurance here?
Because we're resident here, we are able to access residential health insurance packages. And those can be as cheap as £8, $10 per month.
Wow.
And that will cover you for pretty much every eventuality in a Malaysian hospital. If you're a foreigner, or if you're a traveling person from Malaysia, any regular travel insurance will more than cover you for the costs that you would have in the hospitals here. Hospitals here are fantastic. There's really good quality private hospitals. There's plenty of very good government hospitals, but as a foreign tourist or expatriate, you'd end up in a private hospital most likely.
Where do you live?
So we currently stay in Bangsar, which is one of these little bubbles within KL. It's a great community area to live. Everything you need is within walking distance. There's a variety of condominiums and housing there. You have an LRT station, which gets you onto the public transport network. But where we are right now is Chinatown. Chinatown is like the beating heart of the city. It's some of the oldest streets of the city are here. They're now designated heritage areas. And you can wander amongst all these little lanes, find lots of cafes, interesting antique shops, cultural places. You have an area called Central Market, which sells things from all across Malaysia. It's very safe, hard not to discover something new every time you go out. Nice nightlife as well, whether you're into late night eating sessions at street food. There's plenty of street food around this area. There's very nice, reputable bars, a couple of clubs and things as well. So KL is really emerging from itself, and the beating heart of that seems to be around Chinatown, which is right next to Bukit Bintang, which is an area that many people will also know for a lot of shopping, nightlife, and eateries.
What do you do here in KL?
In a way, I'm semi-retired. Retired from traveling, nomading. We are at the stage of life with family, and our children actually said they'd like to live in KL. So we came back to KL and made it our home. And one of the things that we thought we could do whilst being here was to help create a service, a community hub for travelers, for nomads. So we're actually sitting in a beautiful heritage shop house, which is a 100-year-old building, part of the original streets that were put together when Kuala Lumpur was being first built. We've spent the last year restoring this into its present state, and the goal is that this will serve as a amenity for digital nomads, remote professionals from Malaysia, as well as expatriates, where they can come and work, or if they wish to, they can stay. There's community events, there's programs that are for children. Yeah, we're hoping we can give back to the community through this project.
You can find all the links in the description, so you can check it out as well. What's your favorite thing to do in KL?
That's a great question. KL actually has a lot of options. It is not just shopping malls and movie theaters. The movie theaters here are fantastic. Around the edge of KL, you've got fantastic places to actually escape the city. And this is a thing that we hope to introduce to people that come through the city. Favorite thing we'll do as a family is go to an area called Kuala Selangor, which is about 45 minutes drive out of the city. And you're on the riverfront where the sea meets the river, and you have fantastic seafood that's brought in every day by fresh catch from local fishermen. And after we'll have a beautiful seafood dinner, we go and take a boat up the river where there's fireflies. So it's now nighttime, and you'll see along all the bushes these little sparkling lights that look like Christmas tree lights. but they're
Nice.
not. You get there, they're real fireflies.
Wow.
There's pockets of the city, an area called Bukit Gasing, that means Gasing Hill, which is a fantastic hiking spot. And you're right in the center of KL. You wouldn't know this was there. And you can hike around, see a lot of fauna and wildlife. And then you get to the top of the hill, peek out, and you see the Twin Towers and the whole of the city skyline. Other fun things that I've enjoyed, there's a really good go-karting track on the edge of the city. That was great fun recently. 10 minutes cost 70 ringgit, and you go around a really good, really long go-karting track.
When it comes to visas, like visa in general, how does it work? Like, do you know something about it?
Yeah, Malaysia, since the pandemic, has made an effort to create visas that are digital nomad friendly. And there is the Durantau visa program. It's well documented online. It has a lot of thresholds for how you qualify for that. But really, it's something to consider if you are looking at Malaysia for minimum of 1 year, maximum 2 years. There are other options available that are slightly longer term. And short-term options, there are always the social visit pass. If you're passing through Malaysia and you have a European passport, normally you'll get about 3 months, 90 days entrance. And if you are hopping around various places in Southeast Asia, that's more than enough to give you a feel for the whole country. But if you come, you like it, you want to stay longer, the Durantau Pass is probably the first port of call. If you don't qualify for that, or it wasn't long enough, there are other options that become available. If you have family and you send your children to an international school, you can get a guardian visa in Malaysia. And that is for as long as your children go to school here. It doesn't have very high thresholds for income levels. It depends on your children going to school. So we've met many long-term nomads, I guess it'd now be called more expatriates, that have used that as a way to come to Malaysia. It's not a permit to work in the country, it's a permit to stay in the country. There are other things that may have been covered as well. Malaysia, my second home, has been around for a long time. That's a long-term visa, originally pitched at retiree age groups, but has new versions now where you can obtain that visa at a lower age, but there are quite significant investments required. So the visas here are very friendly for travelers coming through, and if you like Malaysia and you can contribute and want to stay, there are several options available. And likewise, the tax treatment here has been given a bit more clarity recently by the Malaysian tax office. So for digital nomads that are passing through, if you're earning money outside Malaysia on contracts, on jobs, but you're not bringing that money into Malaysia, you're not remitting it to Malaysia, our understanding from the tax office is you will not incur tax on that, no matter how long you're staying in Malaysia. If you become a tax resident, as in you end up taking a permanent visa in the country, you have a slightly different treatment. But again, even with that, if you're earning money... So where were we? Friendly tax treatment, yeah. If you're earning money offshore and you're a long-term nomad that is in Malaysia, the government recently clarified that for the next 10 years, as long as that money isn't remitted to Malaysia, to a Malaysian bank account, it does not come under the tax jurisdiction of Malaysia. So you're being taxed in another jurisdiction, that's fine. If you bring it into Malaysia, then that's a different matter.
What are the tips for people moving here?
If you're coming for the first time, try and find a place where you're going to stay for a short time to get familiar with the city. Don't lock into a 3-month rental sight unseen. There's, just like anywhere, you can have pros and cons and surprises with that. We're trying to help with that, and if people come to our space even just to drop in, not to stay, we're always going to be around to help give a bit of friendly advice. Location is very important. If you are coming, you're going to stay for a few months. You've got to think about what do you want to get out of your stay here? If you're just coming to sit down, work, solid, may not matter so much where you are. But whilst public transport here is improving significantly in the last few years, there are many parts of the city that are just not connected to public transport. And then you'll be reliant on Grab, which is fine, but with Grab then you will incur more issues with traffic jams and timing your entrance exits. I would say when you come, try and find some other communities. There's plenty of groups that meet up regularly, and from there you'll be able to find more of the hidden secrets that you can only really find once you're here on the ground.
Thank you very much, John, for everything. So if you want to see more about the co-working space, the stay here, check out the links and down below.
We'll wait for Deepavali. Another thing, Malaysia is full of festivals. We're a melting pot of culture, history, different types of foods. So there's almost always something going on that will cause a lot of fireworks.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Julianne and I'm from Ireland. I've been living in and out of KL since 2017. I've been using it as my home base to travel from because I just fell in love with it when I came here back in 2017, and it makes me happy when I'm here. I just kind of like the vibe here. I think that the people in Malaysia are probably the friendliest people I've ever met. They're always really just open to chat and to help you, and so that makes me feel comfortable. As Irish people, we're considered friendly, but I think Malaysia brings it to a whole new level. So that made me feel at home right away. And the other things that I love about it are obviously there's a good climate. We don't really have the same kind of extreme monsoons as like Da Nang is facing at the moment. And we don't have earthquakes like in other places and tornadoes or whatever. So there's a quite stable climate here.
We're on the East Coast, right?
Yeah, and even here, like, sure, we will get, monsoon is coming soon, and we will get a lot of rain, but it's still manageable most of the time, and it doesn't impact too badly on you. You might have a day or two of a bit of flash flooding, but generally speaking, we live in condo buildings that are high up, so as long as you have enough food and drink in the house, you're fine. You don't have to go anywhere. So that was part of it. Obviously, it's inexpensive. I wouldn't say cheap. Some things aren't so cheap here. Like there are cheaper places, but accommodation for what you get is amazing. I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 10 minutes from the Petronas Towers, swimming pool, gym, the works, for €500 a month. And that, is incredible, really, considering where it is. So that was a factor too. And yeah, it was just the overall kind of energy of the place and the fact that people speak English so easily. It's really comfortable and really easy to live here. I found pretty much everybody who's come here has loved it as a place to use as either a base or to stay for longer. And most people I know that have been here come back again and again and again.
So what do you do here? What's your job?
So for the last 10 years or more, I've been working as a content writer and editor online. So usually when I first was traveling, I was working for the Irish government tourism websites. So I would be sitting in Goa in India writing about Galway in Ireland and stuff. So it was kind of fun. So I still do that, but I don't have that contract at the moment, but I write for some online magazines and I help clients. I'm at the moment helping a client in America to write a book. So lots of different writing, editing, uploading them to websites, working in the back end of the web or in the front end of the website, not back end. Kind of doing that kind of stuff is pretty much my main trade.
How much you need to live in KL? Like $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month?
You could live here okay on about $1,000 a month, I think, and people do it. But I prefer, for me, it's more comfortable 2,000 or up. But 2,000, I can absolutely live like a queen. I can eat out. I can go partying because it's a great city for nightlife. Yeah, I can live comfortably for 2,000 USD a month. And that includes my accommodation, which I said earlier was about 500 euros. So just a little bit more in dollars. And yeah, so once I've got that out of the way, the rest is just spending money and it's fun.
What's the best spot to have fun?
That one's a difficult one in some ways because Changkat is always fun, but it's also kind of touristy and kind of tacky in some ways. But it means that anytime I go to Changkat, I'm nearly always going to have a great time because there's so many different bars and restaurants that if you're not liking the vibe in one, you can move to another one and it's easy to kind of hang out. Go there quite a lot and to other bars in that area just off Changkat like Pisco and the Jungle Bar are two of the other places I like. The Jungle Bar is kind of a, sorry to say this, more of a dive bar type thing, but it's more fun in some ways because myself and my friends, we'll go there and we'll play cards and have a few drinks and it's just easygoing. I'm part of the digital nomad group here and stuff, and I can go to meetings. They have a meetup every Wednesday night and you get to know others. On Sunday night, I like football and I was going to watch a football match and two of the guys from the group came and joined me. Unfortunately, one of them supported the opposition team to me and they won, so it wasn't a great night for me.
What's your team?
Liverpool.
Team? Oh, wow, great.
And he was a United fan and the other guy was a City fan and I'm like, no!
United's
but,
not like doing
yeah, but they beat us on Sunday night. So yeah, it's kind of fun to meet other people like that, nomads. But I've also, because I've been coming here on and off for a long time, I've made friends with quite a few locals, and expats that are living here. Like my friends are from Spain, Portugal, Romania, Ireland, all over as well, and some local friends too. So it's really easy to get to know. Initially, it can be hard for some people. Some people struggle initially here. When I first came here, I got involved with a theatre group because I do some drama and stuff. Drama queen. And that opened up some doors. But after that, I just kind of got more confident to go and just talk to people in bars and restaurants and stuff. And built up a circle of people that I keep coming back to visit every time I'm here and hang out with, and it's great.
What visa are you on right now?
Currently, I'm on the digital nomad visa. I was granted it last December, and but I went back to Ireland and stuff at Christmas, so I only actually got it into my passport when I came back in February. So I had been here and I left and then I came back in February and I had my new visa. So it needs renewing now in December, and I'm going to do that because I'm comfortable here and I'd rather stay here for the years that I can legally than risking just coming back and forth. So I'm going to apply and hopefully get it again for one more year. After that, I don't know where I'm going to go or what I'm going to do next, but I probably will stay in and around this area because my oldest son is now living in Singapore and he's giving me a grandbaby soon. So I don't want to stray too far. So it'll be jumping between this region mostly, although my other son lives in France and he's having a baby in February. So I'll have to spend most of my time jumping between Europe and Southeast Asia over the next few years, I'm sure.
And how does it work for the visa, like to apply for the visa, how much time it takes, and is it like smooth or it takes time?
There's a lot of red tape and it can be slow to apply for the visa. Like I applied for it initially in April last year and was refused it, but didn't find out I was refused until June or July. And then I asked them why. I appealed it and they said, oh, because you're not doing the stuff online. I'm like, no, I am. And I was able to show them that I'm, working on the website and uploading the documentation or the articles or the content to the website. So then they were like, okay, yeah, you are a digital nomad. I'm like, okay. So then that's why it took a while. So they only said in October last year that yes, I would be getting the visa, and then it took another while to actually get the letter saying I had it. So it can be a long drawn out process and you're not meant to be in the country when you're doing it, but I had planned to come back here because I had thought I'd have the visa by the time I came back, but I hadn't, so I had to leave again and then come back but I was going home anyway for Christmas, so it wasn't that big a deal. But yeah, it can be complicated. It can be hard work, but I think it's worth it because this country, to stay here for a year without stressing about visa runs, which you're not meant to do anyway, is much better. Like a few months of waiting and trying to figure this out, to me, was worth it.
Any tips for someone moving to KL?
Yes, bring comfortable shoes because you're going to be out partying a lot. No, I'm joking. Yeah, it does happen. Some places don't close till 5 a.m., so that's good. Yeah, just come with an open mind and realize that you're coming here. It's very much still an Asian country. It's got its rules and regulations, and you need to be respectful of them. But it is a very relaxed place in a lot of ways, and the attitude of the people here is so welcoming. So as long as you come with the same kind of attitude that Malaysians have of respect and welcoming, you're going to have an amazing time.
So pros and cons about KL?
My pro list is a mile long, but my con list's a little shorter, but it has things like the traffic. The traffic can be a nightmare, and especially now in the coming days, there's going to be an awful lot of stuff going on with the ASEAN summit is coming up. But if you use the public transport and stuff, which is quite good, doesn't connect up everywhere, but it's not bad if you can use it as much as possible, especially in the coming week. Well, I don't know when this is going to be out, so I don't know. So traffic is a major pain. Another bit of a pain is, okay, I'm going to sound very Irish. Please do not stereotype me on this, the price of alcohol. After having spent time in other countries where you could buy a beer for like €2 and stuff, I'm now paying like €5 or €6 in some places here. I'm like,
Yeah, beer as well, like the draft beer is super expensive.
Yeah, the alcohol prices are pretty much on a par with most European countries, and it's a little bit rough in that regard. So yeah, maybe it's good because maybe I'll drink less. And it's kind of difficult to get good wine here that's not expensive. So like, whereas in Europe you can buy a nice bottle of wine for about €5 in a shop, here it'll be about €15 and it'll be the same as the more expensive wine. So it's kind of...
Why is that? Religion? Like...
Yeah, I think so. It's kind of like... the way I put it is it's like a sin tax that they kind of are like, okay, if you want to sin by drinking alcohol, we're going to make you pay us for it. So, you know, and it's their country, it's their rules. I don't mind, but it's just a little thing that I'm like, I could have more party time in Vietnam or Thailand on my money, but that's just one little downside. Other than that, really, I don't have very many cons. Yeah, there's mostly pros of like the weather's always good. The food. Oh, I have another con. You can't get good Mexican food here. It's okay, but it's not great. And every other food you get. I've had the best Indian food here, and I've lived in India twice. So
do you know the name of the restaurant?
Yes, and it's near where you live. So I will tell you, it's got in Gem. It's just directly across the road from New Central, the shopping mall where the train Central KL Central train station is. No, GEM, Gem. And right next door to it is a bar called the Supper Club, and they do the same food from the restaurant in the bar. So if you want a more relaxed atmosphere and a few more drinks, you'd go to the bar, order the food from next door. It's owned by the same people and the kitchen's connected, so it serves both. Or if you want a more up-class experience, you can go to the restaurant. But it's amazing. I love it. It's my favorite place to eat.
So if you need content writing, I can share the website. Everything is going to be in the description down below. So thank you very much.
To let you know, I prefer to work with people who are a little bit more on the environmental side of things. So if you're working on a project that's environmentally friendly or hitting ESG goals or the UN SDGs, get in touch, you'll get a discount.
Thank you. Where are you from and how long have you been in KL?
I'm originally from the United States, traveled all around the world, and now I'm here. And I've been here since June, so about 3.5 months right now.
And why did you choose KL over other cities in the world and especially in Southeast Asia?
I have traveled a lot, so I've covered the whole eastern side through all the Caribbeans and Mexico and Puerto Rico and all the places in that side. So now I had to choose somewhere on the other side. And Asia was a spot that everybody talks about. Thailand was a place of interest, but I'm not sure I wanted to go there yet. And Malaysia seemed to have the nationality of so many people that got along. It's supposed to be, it was known for its good food, its affordable, lifestyle. And I just decided that, you got to pick a spot at some point. And I couldn't find any negatives. That was the thing. I kept like a piece of paper with positive, negative, positive, negative. And I couldn't get enough or any negatives to say, don't try it.
What's your job, your background as well?
I'm a serial entrepreneur. So since I've been old enough to get out of the service, back in the 20s, I've been inventing and starting businesses and creating products and marketing stuff. So I'm just an entrepreneur that sees opportunities, seizes on them, and turns it into a profit, and then generally sells that.
So where do you live in KL? Why do you like this place?
I chose KL itself, but I didn't like the heart of the city. The heart of the city has really nice buildings, real modern stuff you could admire if you're looking for metal and shiny parts and all that. And it was too much though. There was just like a 24/7. You get an elevator and stuff. You want to hang out a little bit, but it's just crowded everywhere. And it's a great pace. It's just not. It wasn't my pace. And then I found this place by the hospital, and it's got all the embassies around it and a hospital, and there's a lot of greenery and a golf course, and it just seemed a lot more relaxed. So when I got in the building, it seemed a lot better too, and I decided to get out of town just enough to be out of it, but close enough that it's a 2-minute ride, 5-minute ride over to the shopping centers and stuff.
And how much you spend a month for this apartment?
Yeah, that was the amazing part. Everything is relatively inexpensive here to us. Now the Malaysians complain that it's cheap to you because of your conversion, but it's still expensive to them. And I get that, and I feel for that part. But when I walked into this place, and if you do a video, you'll see as you walk in, you just get hit with this, all glass, a beautiful view of the city and all that. And I said to the lady, I knew I was home, man, right then. I said, how much? She said, 7,000. And I'm like, oh man, that's a lot of money for this. But then she said, that's ringgit, and that comes out to like $1,475 or something in US. And it's fully furnished. It's all the appliances, everything's brand new, television, everything. So it was not a non-decision for me with the view and everything else that I chose this place. Yeah, you have all the gym. You have 2 pools. You have actually 2 gyms. You have big weight workout area, meeting rooms, billiard rooms. They actually have a music room all set up with a band, all the band instruments and everything. So there's a lot of amenities here if you want to use them, and it's not so busy.
Quiet as well.
Yeah, and that's what I was kind of looking for, that quietness. So you could always get in a grab and just, go into town and get busy.
Yeah.
But able to come back, you get best of both worlds.
What's your favorite spot in KL?
I used to own a lot of cars, and people would always say to me, well, what's your favorite car? And that was a hard decision, because I'd have to say to them, what are we going to do today? Are we going out racing? Are we going out touring? Are we going? And then I could tell you what my favorite car was. Well, it's the same thing here. You asked me what's my favorite spot. My favorite spot so far for eating, and this is because the setting and everything was great, was the Hilton has these great restaurants there. They got a great Chinese restaurant that was just off the chart. So you could go there and you could have every ethnic meal in a beautiful setting, laid out nicely. And then you could go to KL and you go to the food area and you could just walk around and, for $2, grab this, grab that, and grab that. So how do you answer that question? It depends on what you're looking for. And one of the things about KL is it has that diversity. You can decide, hey, I just going to walk around and grab, I want that for two ringgits and that, or I want to sit down and have a great meal and at the end still have a tab that is low.
Let's talk about visa. So you are an American?
Well, everything worked very smoothly, but you got to realize that it's at their pace. So if you're somebody like me that comes from a place, like America, where you could kind of make sure it's going faster or whatever, just sit back, because it's going to happen. Now, that's not to say that you shouldn't ask them, how long does this process take? And when they tell you 30 to 60 and you haven't heard from them in 60, yeah, you need to pick up the phone and ask what's going on. But for you to pick up the phone in 30 days and go, what's happening? What are we on? All you're going to get is in the process. So it's a little frustrating because you just give it to them and the government does their thing. It was very smooth. I applied through one of the agencies. The government has special agents that do this, MMH2, and I applied. I paid my money. They told me to wait, I don't know, 30 days for the first.
How much was it, if you want to?
Oh man, I honestly don't remember.
Okay.
I think all said and done, I think it was 8,000 US. I think permit that I took, but a visa, I can stay here for 5 years.
5 years.
Now it didn't make sense to me. I don't know. Somebody else can do the math. They have 3 levels. And if you're willing to put in $500,000 in a fund, which you could use half of to buy a home, then you could stay 10 years or 20 years. But then they have another one that you could put in a little less money and you could stay half of that. I forgot the years. Or you can do the entry program, which is what I did, and you get to stay for 5 years and you only have to put in $150,000, of which half you can use for your home. So I'm looking at it going, I can stay for 5 years for 150, or I can put in $500,000 and stay for 20. What's it going to take the 5 to 20? It's just reapplying for a permit with a small $1,000 fee.
Yeah, it's
So
way better to.
why are you tying up all that money? And for me, am I going to be able to commit to 5 years somewhere? I normally only get to live in my whole life 5 to 7 years, and I'm moving. I've lived all over the United States, all over the world. I just get like, okay. But this is a kind of a different place because number one, it's $1,500 to just leave your stuff sit here. So I could go on an adventure and not worry, hey, I'm paying $5,000, $6,000, $8,000 at home to just have a place sit there while I'm spending another $6,000 or $8,000 to go on vacation. So this is like a storage place for $1,500 a month. This is the way I look at it.
Yeah.
And you get to go from here, you get to go to Penang, you get to go to Singapore, you get to go to Japan, you get to go to the mountains, which I've been to. There's so many places.
Yeah.
This could take longer to get bored. The next thing, when you ask, well, why pick Asia or Malaysia? Malaysia was picked out of Asia just because it's Malaysia and all the benefits. But whenever I wanted to go exploring for the United States, over here I have a 15 or 18 hour or 2-day airplane ride. And now I can just hop in something and 2 hours later be, in one of those hot places I want to go look at.
Pros and cons of KL.
Pros. It's a great place. The people are so nice to you. There's just, I literally, when I got here, I was so lost that the malls are crazy big, and I just couldn't figure it out, man. It's just the layout and where everything was, and I was in one of the big mattress stores, and I asked the lady where I could get something, and she says, "Oh, just go down here and go over there and go down there." And I must have had the look of confusion on my face. And she literally looked at me and went, "Okay, hang on a minute." She took her sign and put "closed for lunch" on the door. Closed the store. This is a big mattress store. Closed the darn store, took me by the hand, and led me around to all the stores I needed to buy something. I'm at the Twin Towers, and I didn't know that. I heard that they have some paid bathrooms, but I didn't know it was the Twin Towers. I stopped carrying cash because you don't use cash anywhere here. So when I went to go use the bathroom, I didn't have any cash. And I looked at my friend and he said, "I don't have any either." And we're standing there looking pretty dumb. What are we going to do now? When some lady, obviously I didn't know, comes over where she's sitting, comes over to me and says, "Here's the 2 ringgits you need." A total stranger comes over to me and gives me the money, sees the situation I'm in, and gives me the money. In a hospital waiting to be seen for my checkup, and it was hot. And as you can see, I just walk across to the hospital, and it was hot when I got there, and it was hot, and I was all sweating. And I'm standing in the middle of the waiting room, and all of a sudden, this lady I don't know comes over and says, "Here's some napkins to,"
Wow.
So there's this kindness about
Yeah,
the
yeah, I
people here.
noticed. Yeah, it's true.
The food is just off the shelf. The different types of food and the how authentic they are. It's not sugar, it's not processed. And if you go to the United States, you'll see that everybody gets everything from the same supplier, wholesale suppliers, all frozen, it's all processed, all that stuff. That's not like that here. The affordability is great. You get in a Grab, which is an Uber in the United States. If it's over $2 US here, it's crazy expensive, which is nuts. So traveling around's not expensive. The cons, there's still a lot more pluses, but the cons are it is a Muslim country, and you know, you have to be aware of that. You have to respect their culture, and it's hard to fit in. It's hard to find somebody to hang out with that you can really get along with. Find some connection between. So I've got 2 or 3 people that I've met that are good that way, but it's a lot harder than it's been any other place I've been to find somebody or some group or some interest that you have. There's nothing blaring that says, you know, this is crazy, you got to move. It's just you have to understand their process. You have to be willing to let them just, you know, like when you go to buy a piece of property, it takes X amount of time, and you just wait. And there's nothing you can do but just wait. And one day you get a call saying, okay, you've been approved, you can buy now. And that's it. There's no...
Okay.
Yeah, so you have to learn their processes.
Thank you very much, Michael, for your time.
Thanks a lot. I hope it helps you out. But Malaysia's a great place, especially if you're looking for something affordable with everything you want at your fingertips.
So, what's your name and where you're from?
My name is Talha. I'm from Vancouver, Canada. I grew up there, but I'm originally from Pakistan.
Why did you choose KL?
A few different factors. So I've traveled a lot of Eastern Europe as well, and some of Asia. KL for me, it's a major metropolitan city. So coming from Vancouver, it's not a huge city, but it's a very nice city. So I like having these nice, big, beautiful buildings around, all the facilities that are available. Food here is really good. Cost of living is low. People are friendly, and the weather is warm. I work in training and enablement at a fintech company. So a company that uses technology to provide accounting and bookkeeping services. And I support with our product enablement, our training operations, things like that. Need to work some level of North American hours, so I'm up at night and there aren't a lot of cafes that are open late. So a lot of my work I do at home, but every once in a while when I have work that I can do without needing to be in the same time zone, I'll go to a local cafe. I've also been looking into co-working spaces, and there are a bunch in KL that I haven't actually had a chance to try out just yet.
Where do you live in KL?
So currently I'm living in Mont, Kiara, but I'm going to be moving to KLCC in about a week or so. Mont Kiara is a very nice place. There are a decent amount of expats and digital nomads there, but it's not as central to everything as KLCC is. So I need to take Grab to get to a lot of places, and it is upscale. So it is a nicer area. Cost of living is a little bit more expensive. But again, for like a traveler, solo traveler, digital nomad, it's not as good, I think, as KLCC, or even as I've heard Bangsar is, that I haven't had a chance to experience yet. In my current place, I'm paying 3,700 ringgits per month, plus utilities and Wi-Fi. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, big, spacious apartment. And then the place I'm moving into in KLCC, that one is 4,100 ringgits per month. Also a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Yeah, in my current place, I have, both places actually, gym, pool. My current place also has like jacuzzi pods, which are pretty cool. Yeah, my current place has a lot going on. There's like a butterfly garden on the 27th floor. There's a few just like lounge areas that you can just hang out and do work in if you like. There's also a really nice cafe right downstairs in the building and a mart. So there's quite a bit within the building itself actually that you can just get by on.
Let's talk about a visa as well a second. So you said that you're Canadian.
So I'm Canadian. I can spend 90 days in Malaysia at one time. I think it resets when I leave the country and come back. It wasn't the guidance isn't clear, but it's kind of a gray area. And then I can also apply for the digital nomad visa. Malaysia has a really good digital nomad visa. So the trip I'm on right now, I'm here for 3 to 6 months. I'll be traveling a little bit here and there around Southeast Asia in that time as well. And then if I end up liking it as a long-term place to stay, I'll apply for that digital nomad visa and stay here for longer.
Pros and cons of living in KL.
Pros, big city vibes, lots of facilities available, especially for fitness, food, cafes, and things like that. Cost of living is really good here. Cost of living is always an interesting topic for me because there are places where you can get by for much cheaper, but the value isn't there. And there's places that cost a lot more, but also the value isn't there. So I think in terms of value, what you get for your money in KL is some of the best in the world. Cons, I think most people would say weather. I think the weather is okay for me. It is hot, it is humid, but it's not as bad as other places. Like I've been to Bali and Singapore and the humidity there is completely unbearable for me. The one con for me is I was expecting KL to be more walkable of a city than it actually is, even in KLCC. There's a lot of places where sidewalks just end or you're walking on the side of the road and things like that, but that's kind of mainly it for me. Yeah, to even get to the train station is like a 7 or 10 minute drive, so I have to take a Grab to get over there. The train that runs over there is only once per hour. So I've taken the train once just because I wanted to get the experience of it and explore the city a little bit on train. But if I don't think I would be taking it regularly. Like I'm using Grab every single time. Yeah.
Is it easy to make new friends here?
Yes and no. It's a very open culture here. There's so much diversity that there are like some people that you'll be able to meet very easily and some people that are just so different you don't really have a chance at connection. And so it also depends on the area that you're in. I'm in Mont, which is a little bit more like family focused, and so you're not going to meet people as easily there. But there are a ton of travelers here, and I've met a few through like WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups, digital nomad apps. So I went out with a few of them last night. There's a couple of trips that I've gone on with other people. So even though I've only been here for 3 weeks and a lot of that was like trying to find an apartment and getting settled in and stuff, I've managed to meet a decent amount of people just in that time. Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. And I don't have a TikTok channel just yet, but I've been recording a lot of videos to start making content there. So we can link that as well for when I get started.
So my name is Roman, and now it's been almost 8 years. So it's going to be 8 years in February.
Why did you choose KL over other cities in Southeast Asia?
So my wife and I just spent 6 years in New Zealand, and she's from Kuala Lumpur. So that's the reason why we decided to come back to KL.
What do you do here? What's your job?
So my main occupation is I'm a photographer. So I do family photos, couple photos. I do corporate events as well. And our other jobs is influencers. So we do food review, hotel review, and this kind of thing in Malaysia.
Where do you live in Kuala Lumpur?
So we live about 7-8 kilometers from the city center. And the reason why we live there is because it's cheaper as well. If you live in the center itself, it's very, very expensive. And it's also very quiet here. It's very convenient as well because you have the train, and the train brings you straight away to the city center. So it's about 30 minutes maybe, less than 30 minutes by train. It's called Cheras. Cheras, yeah.
What's your favorite thing to do when you're not working?
Well, one of the things that Malaysian loves is to eat. So Malaysians love to eat, and the good thing about Malaysia is the food is very cheap as well. So you can go to a restaurant called Mamak. Mamak in Malaysia is a local restaurant. And to give you an example, because we eat at Mamak maybe 4 to 5 times a week, it costs us 20 ringgit. If you convert 20 ringgit in euro, it's around 4 euro to eat for 2 people. So it's like 2 dish, 2 drinks, and side dish, and we spend 4 euro. So sometimes we're lazy to cook, especially when you can eat for 2 euro a head. So yeah, makan is definitely the thing that we do when we are not working. It's a little bit further away, so it's like 5 kilometers from here. So
Do you speak Malay?
Sike, a little bit. Yeah, I know all the bad words.
How did you find your accommodation here?
So if you want to rent a house in Kuala Lumpur, if you are in the city center, it's going to be very expensive. It can be from 5K to 20K a month, ringgit. So it's like 5,000 euro a month in the city center. But if you're outskirts, You can find some places with 3 bedrooms, and you're gonna pay around 1,500 ringgit, which is 300 euro per month. So it's very affordable. Now we bought a house, so it's a bit different for us. The house, 400K. So 400K is like $80,000. Around $80,000 to buy a condominium. So it's not a landed house. It's a flat. We have 2 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms, yeah, 2 bedrooms.
And 2 bathrooms.
And 2 bathrooms.
What are the pros and cons of living in Kuala Lumpur?
The pro for me will be the food because it's again.
Cost of living.
Yeah, the cost of living, the food.
The lifestyle.
Yeah, and the con for me will be the drivers. Drivers in Malaysia is not that good. Yeah,
They drive like crazy.
the enforcement in Malaysia is not here yet. Because you haven't seen it yet. If we have time, maybe we can show it to you. There is something in Malaysia called double park. So people love to double park. It means you're at the stop sign and they're gonna park in front of the stop sign. And then everyone's gonna follow and everyone's gonna park behind the car. And at the end, normally it's a 2-way, by the end it becomes a 1-way. So it's like, guys, come on, or they park on the zebra, you have zebra line on the road and they're gonna park there and you're like, come on guys,
Care about
they don't care about the fine, they're just gonna pay the fine. And motorbikes as well are that's something you need to be aware of when you're on the road. A lot of kids without a helmet, We shot a video of one kid standing in front of the motorbike, and we were like, damn, that's not good. That's not good.
Where are you from and how long have you been here in KL?
Hi, my name is Mark. I'm from Germany, and I've been coming to KL for around 3 years now, staying at around 7 months each time. When I first came to Asia, I was traveling different Southeast Asian countries like Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia was one of them. And I enjoyed it here the most because I think it's the most developed, and also everyone speaks English, so it just makes it easy to get around and meet people. I do digital marketing and website management, website development, stuff like that. And it doesn't really have to do anything with KL, but it's just a very nice city to be in because of like the English speaking, and it's quite easy to get around. The MRTs, LRT are well connected, and a lot of diversity here, lots of food.
How much is the rent here? How much you spend monthly and so on?
For rent, I'm lucky because I'm sharing an apartment with my girlfriend who's studying here, and she has a long-term contract, so those usually are cheaper in rent than if you only rent for like half a year or 1 year. So my portion, like we split it 50-50, and I pay 775 ringgit, which I think is a bit over 150 euros per month. Then electricity and water comes on top of that, but it's not really that much. So pretty good, I would say. I think only rent, electricity and water would still be below $200, maybe 180. And then, of course, groceries and everything adding up, it might get around 300 probably,
What's your favorite thing to do when you're not working?
So for sure, just going around and trying different foods because there's so much to offer here. You have Malay food, Indian food, Chinese food, and much more. So I love just going to different restaurants and just trying different dishes and like researching it as well. I think one of my favorite ones is just like the Mamak restaurants, It's pretty affordable. They are open 24/7 and you have like a good mix of Malay and Indian food. I think there's an Indian restaurant called Oh Yeah Banana Leaf, which has 2 outlets. One is in Batu Caves and one is in KL and Brickfields. And this is like the best Indian food I would say I've had so far. So this one I can recommend.
What's your favorite area in KL?
I'm not sure if it's still part of KL, but I really like Putrajaya. I think it's like the government district, which has like a lot of nice buildings and also pretty good infrastructure just for walking around. And you can take like boat rides and stuff like that. So, and even cycle. So that's a really good one. And then for like nights or evenings, I like just going to Bukit Bintang. There's some bars, or like to, I think, Chinatown. There's also like a bunch of bars to go to.
Is it easy to meet with other digital nomads here?
Yeah, super easy actually. So there's I don't know if I can say this, it's not sponsored or anything. It's literally just what I've been using is an app called Meetup. And there's a shit ton of meetups from like expats, digital nomads, just like meeting in a bar or in a restaurant, in a mall, and just hanging out, having lunch or whatever. So it's a lot of possibilities to do that.
Pros and cons of living in KL.
I'll start with the pros because I think there's more than cons, which is of course why I'm here. I think the costs of living are super affordable. So it's quite cheap in terms of eating out, rent, and just in general to do activities and stuff like that. It's very affordable compared to Europe or the US or most Western countries. And then, of course, language. English is widely spoken here, so there's no language barrier. Maybe it takes a bit of time to get used to the Malaysian accent, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. And then also, Malaysian people are super friendly. Like, I just love the people here. They're super welcoming, friendly, polite. Like, I have not made a single bad experience with people here. I mean, of course, there's sometimes people on the street like trying to ask you for money or trying to hustle you a little bit, but that's everywhere. I think I've been getting hustled more at like Berlin main station than I've been getting here. The biggest con for me, since I live not directly in KL, but in the neighboring city of Petaling Jaya, there the public transport isn't as great, so you're very reliant on Grabs or cars to get around. When it comes to food, there's a lot of really delicious food and a big variety, but most of the food that you find in restaurants is very unhealthy, so very oily, greasy, fried. So if you want to, eat healthy food, you pretty much have to cook for yourself or you gotta take care of it. Thank you so much for having me. My YouTube channel name is Reise4, like the number, Essen. It's in German because it doesn't allow me to change the name for some reason, but it basically means travel for food. And yeah, I just document my travels pretty much. And yeah, thank you.